Jennifer awoke with a start, the digital clock on the bedside table casting an ominous glow. 3:00 a.m. A chill ran down her spine as she reached out to the cold, empty space beside her where Patrick should have been. Panic gripped her heart, and she stumbled out of bed, fumbling for the light switch in the darkness. "Patrick?" she called, her voice barely more than a whisper. No response echoed through the quiet house. Panic turned to desperation as she rushed through the dimly lit hallway, checking Emma's room and the living room. The house seemed to swallow her cries. In the pale moonlight filtering through the curtains, Jennifer noticed the front door ajar. Dread filled her as she pushed it open, revealing the silent night outside. The cold wind carried the unsettling truth. Patrick was gone. As she stood on the doorstep, the bitter night air biting at her, Jennifer's mind raced with questions. Where could he be at this hour? Why would he leave without a word? An unsettling feeling settled in her stomach, and she knew she needed answers. Frantically, she dialed Patrick's number, the phone ringing in the silent darkness. No answer. Panic intensified, and she found herself pacing the living room, replaying the events of the evening in her mind. The evening had seemed ordinary, and Patrick had shown no signs of restlessness or discontent. Disturbed and anxious, Jennifer sank onto the couch, her mind a whirlwind of possibilities. As the minutes ticked away, she realized she couldn't sit and wait. Determination fueled her actions, and she grabbed her coat and car keys. She needed to find Patrick, to unravel the mystery that had stolen him away in the middle of the night. The street outside was eerily quiet as she drove through the darkened neighborhood. The only sound was the engine's hum and her own shallow breaths. Jennifer's thoughts raced, a mixture of fear and anger bubbling within her. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. "Where are you, Patrick?" she murmured, the words carried away by the wind as she drove through the silent streets, her eyes scanning for any sign of her missing husband. The answers remained elusive, hidden in the shadows of the night, and Jennifer's journey into the unknown had just begun. Days turned into a relentless cycle of uncertainty. Patrick's late-night absences persisted, and Jennifer's suspicions grew like a shadow in the corners of her mind. The air between them was thick with unspoken tension, and every exchanged glance felt like a battlefield of hidden secrets. One evening, as they sat in the living room, a palpable silence settled between them. Jennifer couldn't hold back any longer. "Patrick, we need to talk," she said, her voice carrying a mix of frustration and concern. Patrick looked up from his phone, his eyes meeting hers with a guarded expression. "What's there to talk about, Jen?" he replied, his tone casual, but the distance in his eyes betrayed something more. "Your late-night disappearances, the constant secrecy. I can't take it anymore," Jennifer confessed, her words heavy with the weight of unspoken accusations. Patrick sighed, his gaze flickering away for a moment before returning. "It's just work, Jen. You know how demanding my job has become," he explained, but his words lacked the usual conviction that reassured her in the past. Jennifer couldn't shake off the doubt that clouded her judgment. "It's more than that, Patrick. I can feel it. We used to share everything, but now it's like you're a stranger." Patrick's eyes dropped to the floor, avoiding direct contact. "I'm trying, Jen. It's just a stressful time at work. Things will get better," he said, attempting to reassure her, but the hollowness of his words lingered. The following days unfolded in a haze of uncertainty. Jennifer couldn't escape the nagging feeling that she was missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Late at night, she found herself listening to the distant sound of Patrick's hushed phone conversations, her mind creating narratives that only fueled her suspicions. One evening, unable to contain her frustration any longer, Jennifer confronted Patrick again. "Who are you talking to, Patrick? Why all the secrecy?" Patrick's eyes darted nervously as he hesitated before answering. "It's just work calls, Jen. I can't discuss everything with you." Jennifer, frustration reaching its peak, retorted, "We're supposed to be partners in everything. If you're facing something, we face it together." Heavy silence descended upon them, and the unspoken words hung in the air. The divide between them seemed insurmountable, and as Patrick retreated into his silent world, Jennifer felt a sinking realization that their once unbreakable bond was slipping away. The journey into the heart of their unraveling marriage had only just begun, and the shadows of suspicion loomed large. The weight of uncertainty pressed on Jennifer's shoulders, and the once warm and comforting walls of their home seemed to close in on her. As she navigated the daily routine of parenting and household responsibilities, the growing tension between her and Patrick cast a long shadow over their lives. One evening, as they sat at the dinner table, the air thick with unspoken words, Jennifer finally broached the subject that had become an invisible wall between them. "Patrick, we can't keep avoiding this. What's happening to us?" Patrick's eyes met hers, weariness etched in their depths. "I know, Jen. It's just been a tough time. The pressures of work, bills, and everything else. It's getting to me," he confessed, his voice carrying the weight of their shared struggles. Jennifer sighed, her frustration mixing with empathy. "We used to face everything together, Patrick. What happened to us being a team?" "I know, and I'm sorry," Patrick replied, his gaze dropping to his plate. "I just feel like I'm drowning, and I don't want to drag you down with me." The admission hung in the air, a stark reminder of the challenges they faced individually and as a couple. As days turned into weeks, the strain on their relationship deepened. The once effortless laughter became a rarity, replaced by the heavy silence of unspoken grievances. One night, as Jennifer sat in the dimly lit living room, Patrick arrived home late, the exhaustion etched on his face. "Where have you been, Patrick?" Jennifer's voice held a mix of frustration and concern. "Work again. The project is taking longer than expected," Patrick replied, avoiding eye contact. "Emma misses you, Patrick." "I missed you," Jennifer admitted, her vulnerability laid bare. "I know, Jen. I promise. Things will get better. Once this project is over, we can have our lives back," Patrick assured her, but the promise felt hollow, the distance between them growing. The strains of their past, from the early struggles to the challenges of raising a child, resurfaced like ghosts. Jennifer found herself irritable, snapping at small things, the pressure of managing the household and her husband's emotional absence taking its toll. One evening, as they attempted to unwind in front of the television, a simple disagreement escalated into a heated argument. "I can't do this anymore, Patrick. We're falling apart, and I don't even know why," Jennifer cried out, the frustration and loneliness bubbling to the surface. Patrick, weary and defeated, looked at her with a pained expression. "Maybe we never really figured out how to make this work. Maybe we're just not meant to be," he uttered, the words hanging heavily in the air. The revelation marked a turning point, the realization that the struggles they faced weren't just external, but deeply rooted within the foundation of their relationship. As the cracks widened, the road to healing seemed distant and uncertain. The echoes of their marital struggles reverberated through the hollow spaces of their once happy home, leaving them both questioning if they could find a way back to each other. The tension in Jennifer and Patrick's home reached a breaking point, and the once shared dreams now seemed like distant echoes. One evening, as they sat across from each other in the dimly lit living room, Patrick's gaze held an unfamiliar resolve. "We need to talk," Patrick said, his voice steady but carrying an underlying weight. Jennifer looked up from her book, a mixture of anticipation and anxiety in her eyes. "What's going on, Patrick?" Jennifer asked, her voice cautious. Patrick took a deep breath before revealing what had been haunting him. "Jen, I think we need to consider getting a divorce." Jennifer's eyes widened, the shock silencing her for a moment. "Divorce? Where is this coming from?" she demanded, the hurt evident in her voice. Patrick hesitated, choosing his words carefully. "I've been doing a lot of thinking, Jen. We've been drifting apart for a while now. Maybe it's better for both of us, for Emma, if we go our separate ways." Jennifer felt a surge of anger and betrayal. "Is this about someone else? Is there someone else, Patrick?" Her accusatory tone hung in the air. Patrick shook his head. "No, Jen, it's not about someone else. It's about us, about our happiness. Staying together isn't making any of us happy." Jennifer's frustration boiled over. "You want to leave because it's hard, Patrick. Because we're going through a rough patch. Marriage isn't always easy. It takes work." "I'm tired of pretending, Jen. Tired of going through the motions. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to Emma," Patrick argued, his tone a mixture of weariness and determination. Their conversation escalated into a heated confrontation, accusations flying from both sides. The once shared dreams now seemed like distant memories, replaced by the harsh reality of a fractured relationship. As the emotional storm raged on, Jennifer, desperate to salvage what was left, pleaded, "Can't we at least try counseling? We owe it to Emma to try and work this out." But Patrick remained resolute, convinced that the path to happiness lay in separation. "I can't keep pretending, Jen. Divorce is the best option for both of us." The decision hung in the air like a heavy fog, settling over their home. The once happy family now faced the stark reality of divorce, a decision that would reshape their lives and leave Jennifer grappling with the painful realization that the love they once shared had unraveled into something unrecognizable. The road to divorce was paved with tears, shattered dreams, and the ache of a love that had lost its way. In the aftermath of Patrick's desire for divorce, Jennifer was determined to uncover the truth behind his seemingly inexplicable behavior. The atmosphere in their home was charged with tension as she searched for answers, her desperation leading her to explore every corner of their shared space. One afternoon, while rummaging through Patrick's study, Jennifer stumbled upon an old, weathered diary hidden beneath a pile of papers. The discovery sent a shiver down her spine, and she cautiously opened its pages, revealing the raw and intimate thoughts of her husband. The words on the pages were not a record of infidelity, but a haunting revelation of Patrick's deepest fears and struggles. As she read, tears welled up in Jennifer's eyes, and a lump formed in her throat. "I can't burden them with the truth. The pain of what I'm facing is too much for them to bear," she read aloud, her voice trembling. The diary detailed Patrick's silent battle with a serious illness, his fears of becoming a burden to his family, and the heartbreaking decision to ask for a divorce as a way to spare them from the inevitable hardships he believed lay ahead. The weight of misunderstanding crushed Jennifer's heart. Her mind raced, replaying every argument, every accusation, and the profound realization that she had misjudged the very person she vowed to spend her life with. Overwhelmed by a mix of guilt, empathy, and sorrow, Jennifer reached for her phone. She dialed Patrick's number with trembling fingers, praying he would answer and allow her the chance to set things right. "Patrick, it's me," Jennifer spoke, her voice choked with emotion. "I found your diary. I had no idea. Why didn't you tell me about this?" There was a pause on the other end of the line, and then Patrick's voice, tired and defeated, responded, "I didn't want to burden you, Jen. I thought it was best for everyone if I faced this alone." Tears streamed down Jennifer's face as she pleaded, "We're supposed to face everything together, Patrick. I love you, and I want to be there for you. Please let me in." Patrick sighed, a mix of relief and regret evident in his voice. "I thought pushing you away was protecting you, but I can't do it alone anymore." Determined to bridge the emotional chasm that had grown between them, Jennifer set out to find Patrick. She discovered him at his favorite spot, a quiet park where they once found solace in each other's company. "Patrick, we need to talk," Jennifer said as she approached, her eyes brimming with tears. "I read your diary. I understand now. I want to face this with you, whatever it is." Patrick looked up, surprise and vulnerability in his eyes. "Jen, I never meant to hurt you. I just didn't know how to tell you." Their conversation unfolded under the canopy of trees, the weight of misunderstanding gradually lifting. The revelation of Patrick's health struggles became the catalyst for a heartfelt reconciliation. The road ahead remained uncertain, but in that moment, surrounded by the echoes of their shared past, Jennifer and Patrick embraced the opportunity to face the challenges together, united by a love that had weathered the storms of misunderstanding. With the shocking revelation of Patrick's health struggles, Jennifer embarked on a mission to find him and confront the truth that had been hidden in the pages of his diary. The once familiar path to their reconciliation now lay in the fragile balance of vulnerability and understanding. Jennifer traced Patrick's favorite places, searching for the sanctuary where they could face the truth together. In the quietude of a park surrounded by ancient oaks, she found him sitting on a bench, lost in contemplation. "Patrick," Jennifer called out softly, approaching with a mixture of trepidation and determination. Patrick looked up, his eyes revealing a blend of surprise and uncertainty. "Jen, what are you doing here?" he asked, his guard still intact. "I read your diary, Patrick. I know about the illness," Jennifer admitted, her voice carrying the weight of the newfound knowledge. Patrick's expression shifted from surprise to a mix of vulnerability and relief. "I didn't mean for you to find out like that. I wanted to protect you," he confessed, a hint of regret in his voice. Jennifer took a seat beside him, their proximity a silent acknowledgement of the shared pain and the journey they were about to embark on. "We're a team, Patrick. You don't have to face this alone. We can navigate through this together," she reassured him, her hand reaching for his. Patrick's gaze dropped to their intertwined fingers, a silent acknowledgement of the connection they had almost lost. "I thought I was sparing you, Jen. I didn't want you and Emma to carry the burden of my illness." Jennifer turned to him, her eyes filled with determination. "We're stronger together, Patrick. Let us be there for you. Keeping this a secret was tearing us apart. We can face whatever comes our way, but we need to face it together." A moment of silence passed between them, the weight of the unspoken truth lingering in the air. Patrick took a deep breath, as if letting go of a heavy burden he had carried for too long. "I didn't realize how much I needed you until I thought I had to let you go." Tears welled up in Jennifer's eyes as she whispered, "You don't have to let go, Patrick. We'll face this together, as a family." The reunion marked the beginning of a new chapter, a shared commitment to confront the challenges ahead with resilience and love. The truth, once hidden in the shadows, now stood in the open, allowing Jennifer and Patrick to face it head-on. As they left the park, hand in hand, The path ahead remained uncertain, but the bond forged through facing the truth together became the foundation for a renewed sense of hope and strength. With the truth about Patrick's health struggles laid bare, Jennifer and Patrick stood at the crossroads of their relationship, faced with the choice of either succumbing to the fractures or forging a path toward reconciliation. The park, once a witness to their joy and laughter, now became the backdrop for a pivotal moment of healing. As they walked beneath the ancient oaks, Jennifer reached out to Patrick, her fingers gently intertwining with his. "I don't want to lose you, Patrick," she confessed, her eyes searching his for reassurance. Patrick, still grappling with the vulnerability of sharing his deepest fears, replied, "I didn't want to burden you with my illness. But now, I see that facing it alone was tearing us apart." The quiet acknowledgement hung in the air as they found a secluded spot, away from the prying eyes of the world. Jennifer spoke, her voice carrying the weight of their shared history and the newfound understanding. "We can't change the past, Patrick, but we can decide how to face the future. Let's not let this tear us apart. We're a team, remember?" she implored, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Patrick nodded, a mix of gratitude and regret in his gaze. "I'm sorry, Jen. I should have trusted you with the truth from the beginning. I didn't realize how much I needed your strength until I almost lost it." The sincerity in Patrick's words resonated with Jennifer, and a sense of forgiveness began to blossom. "We've both made mistakes, Patrick. What matters now is how we move forward. I love you, and I want to be here for you, no matter what." As the words hung in the air, a heartfelt embrace bridged the emotional chasm that had separated them. The park, once a witness to their struggles, now bore witness to a pivotal moment of reconciliation. In the days that followed, Jennifer and Patrick navigated the complexities of their newfound reality. They engaged in candid conversations about the challenges they faced, sought support from friends and family, and began the process of rebuilding the trust that had been fractured. One evening, as they sat on the couch, Emma playing at their feet, Patrick spoke with a renewed sense of commitment. "I want to make things right, Jen. I want us to face this together, as a family." Jennifer smiled, the warmth of their rekindled connection palpable. "We will, Patrick. We'll face it together. And no matter what comes our way, we'll navigate through it as a family." The journey toward reconciliation wasn't without its challenges, but as Jennifer, Patrick, and Emma forged ahead, the bonds of their love emerged stronger than ever. The shadows of misunderstanding were replaced by the light of shared strength, marking the beginning of a new chapter filled with hope, resilience, and the unwavering commitment to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The road to recovery for Jennifer, Patrick, and Emma was marked by shared strength, understanding, and a commitment to face the challenges of Patrick's health issues together. As they embraced their new reality, a sense of resilience and hope became the driving force for their journey into a chapter of new beginnings. One morning, as sunlight streamed through the windows, casting a warm glow in the room, Jennifer and Patrick sat at the kitchen table. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air, creating a sense of comfort and normalcy. Emma, their energetic daughter, played in the living room, a symbol of the life they were determined to cherish. "I've been thinking, Patrick," Jennifer began, her eyes fixed on the steaming cup of coffee in her hands. "Maybe it's time for me to go back to work. It could help us, not just financially, but as a way for me to regain a sense of purpose." Patrick looked at her with a mixture of support and understanding. "Jen, you've sacrificed so much already. Are you sure you want to take on more?" Jennifer smiled, the determination evident in her eyes. "We're a team, remember? and teams face challenges together. Besides, I want to contribute to do my part." Patrick reached across the table, squeezing her hand. "You're amazing, Jen. I'm grateful to have you by my side." The decision to return to work marked a symbolic step toward normalcy for Jennifer. As she navigated the challenges of balancing career and caregiving, Patrick became her pillar of support. Their home, once filled with the echoes of tension, now resonated with a shared understanding and a newfound appreciation for the precious moments they had together. One evening, after putting Emma to bed, Jennifer and Patrick sat on the porch, watching the stars twinkle in the night sky. The air was filled with a quiet contentment as they reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "I never thought we'd come through the other side of this, Patrick," Jennifer admitted, a sense of gratitude in her voice. Patrick nodded, his gaze fixed on the stars. "Neither did I, Jen, but facing the truth and embracing it together made all the difference." As they sat in companionable silence, the future unfolded before them like a blank canvas. The challenges remained, but the strength of their bond became a source of comfort. In the face of uncertainty, they found solace in each other. In the weeks that followed, Patrick's health became a shared responsibility, and Jennifer found solace in Patrick's unwavering support. The couple's journey was not without its ups and downs, but their love became a beacon, guiding them through the storm. One day, as they stood in the backyard, watching Emma play, Patrick spoke with a newfound appreciation. "You've been my rock, Jen. I don't know where I'd be without you." Jennifer smiled, her eyes reflecting the depth of their shared experiences. "We're in this together, Patrick, and no matter what comes our way, we'll face it as a family." Their story, once marked by misunderstandings and pain, had evolved into a narrative of resilience, love, and the strength found in facing life's challenges together. As they embraced the new beginnings that emerged from the ashes of their struggles, Jennifer, Patrick, and Emma stood united, ready to write the next chapter of their lives. A chapter filled with hope, love, and the unwavering belief that, as a family, they could overcome anything life threw their way.